little flow, little Pilates flow, focusing on stretching the full body, wanting to work into those legs, that core a little bit and that back, and just have a nice little flow today. So I'm obviously now 31 weeks pregnant, so I'll be doing lots of the prenatal options, but I will give you progressions and adaptations that you guys can do if you want to do them. Okay, so we're going to start by sitting today. So find a nice comfortable sitting position, either on your bum with your legs crossed, legs out straight. You can pop some cushions under your bottom if that helps, or grab a chair if you still can't get comfortable. We just want to be able to lengthen that spine so we're in a nice tall position and we're sat right on these sit bones. Once you've found a lovely tall position, just start by rolling your shoulders up, back and down. So we're lifting them up, slotting them back and down. Lifting them up, slotting them back and down. Next one, we're going to slot them back and down into jean pockets. So they're nice and stabilized in those jean pockets. So they're not hunched forward, so we've got a lovely tall posture. And just imagine a bit of string attached from the top of your head, drawing your head out of your neck and your shoulders and chest. So we're being lengthened up and eyes are nice and high on the horizon. Take some big deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and center that body. Good, last round of breath. Excellent. Good. And then we're just going to start to mobilize the neck. So just taking the head to one side, chin to chest, and then head to the other side, nice and slow. Keeping a flow of breath. We're just going to move that neck slowly from one side to the other side. Using your breath, keeping your spine tall and your shoulders back and down. Good. And then slowly coming back to the center, lengthen that spine. Excellent. And from here, just thinking about switching on our core. So let's try and zip up our pelvic floor. So our front, middle, back of our pelvic floor, joining them all together in the middle, zipping them up. So imagine we're almost stopping ourselves from having a wee, that kind of feeling. There's a few different parts to it. Just try and feel an internal pull up inside of you. And breathe into it, keeping the shoulders back and down, holding and squeezing inside. We'll do 2 more rounds of breath. Holding. If it releases, that's fine, just get it back. Zip it back up again. The more we use this muscle, the stronger it's going to be, the stronger mind-body connection we're going to have. And when you're ready, let it release. Good. And then zipping it back up again. Do a few rounds of breath. And let it release. Good. And then thinking about our TBA, our transverse abdominal muscles, squeezing them up really tight, squeeze them as tight as you can. And then when you're ready, let them go, let them hang out. You can physically see my tummy move in and out. On those transverse abdominals, you should see yours too. You pretend you've got a big tummy like mine, and my pregnant tummy. Okay, when you're ready, squeezing those muscles up nice and tight. And then exhale, let them release. Good. So now we're going to switch on our pelvic floor because both together they're our powerhouse. Keep the shoulders back and down and do a few rounds of breath. Just breathing and holding, feeling the center of that body really nice and tight. Inhaling and exhaling into it. And when you're ready, let those muscles release. Good. Okay, just zipping them up to 30%. Just a little squeeze, know that they're both engaged. That amount of engagement is what we want to focus on using the whole of the session. Nipping pelvic floor 30% and our band around the middle, our TBA, transverse abdominal muscles. Making sure that we're using them. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into some nice stretches. So bringing the arms out to the side, lengthen them, make sure your shoulders are still back and down. We're just going to go for a little reach to the side, drop the head onto the shoulder, and then come back to middle. Reach up and then lengthen over to the other side. Use your flow of breath, taking your time into it, inhaling into one movement, exhaling into the other movement. Flowing through that body as we start to stretch down the side of the body. Stretch the neck a little bit more. And let's swap sides. Imagining someone's pulling our fingers to the side, then up to the ceiling as we reach up and over. Down through the side of our body, mobilizing our spine. Good. And then facing the palms backwards, we're going to push. So imagine you pushing against something. Open the chest, then face the palms forwards, bring your arms forwards, and we're going to push down onto our shoulders. So stretching through our traps, our shoulders. Bring our chin to chest. Nice big deep breath into that stretch. And then we're going to turn the palms back and push back again. Open that chest. Create some resistance. Palms forwards, we float them forwards. Push the hands under shoulders. Chin to chest. Nice big deep breaths into it. Let that tension release. Last one, pushing back. Open that chest, lengthen the spine. Palms facing forwards. Push hands down onto the shoulders. Stretch the neck. Good. And pushing all the way back. Bring your arms down by your side. Good, lovely. From here, we're just going to go into our cossack position. So we're going to bring one arm in front, so the elbows in line with my shoulder, and then bring the other arm and put it on top of it. So hands are on elbows, one on top of the other, elbows in line with the shoulders. Remember, if you've let your spine go and your hunch, lengthen that spine. We're going to imagine that we've got a rod right through the middle of our body, down through our spine, through the top of our head, a nice broomstick pull. And we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist around that broomstick pull. So we're trying to use that spine to strengthen those muscles as we mobilize it. Exhaling to the side. Inhaling through the middle. Keeping a nice flow of movement. And as we move, we want to watch that we don't start to lift our legs and let our legs compensate. Because as we twist, most people will find that their knee will lift as well. We want to try and imagine that our lower body's stuck in concrete. So we're twisting from the upper body, and those tight legs aren't going to help us. We're using our posture and our spine. Let's go for another 3 to 6 more. However more you feel you can do, keeping those legs as still as we can, twisting around that spine. We're using that core as well. Don't forget about the 30% through the core. Use your flow of breath. And then once you've done that, have a little side stretch. And release off those arms, because it does get those shoulders holding them in that position in the side of that body. Use your flow of breath. Good. And when you're ready, you're going to do another round. So I want you to aim to do 8 to 10 repetitions if you can. So 4 to 5 twists each side. Lengthen the spine. Exhaling, twisting, inhaling, flowing through the middle. Exhaling to the other side. Keeping the knees as still as you can. Good. Trying to increase your range of movement a little bit, each one. And once you've done your repetitions, stretch it up, reach it up and over. Good. So we're going to do one more round. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can bring your arms out to the side. So shoulders are back and down, and imagine a broomstick down the middle of the body and through this middle, so across the back of our arms. So we've created a cross and we twist. Head goes with it. Inhaling through the middle, exhaling to the other side. If you're finding that difficult and your arms are kind of going in different directions, then stay in your co-sat position, making sure shoulders stay back and down. You can swap hands, whichever one's on top. We'll go for another 8 to 10 repetitions in your own time. 4 to 5 each side, using that flow of breath. Good. And then once you've done that, stretch it up and over. Using your flow of breath. Good. And then from here, we're just going to take our legs out nice and wide. It's going to go for a nice inner thigh stretch up and over to the side and get a bit deeper into it. So lengthening the spine. We're going to bring one hand all the way down to the toe. You're going to come up and over, pushing that chest up. Don't let it fall. Up and over to the side. Nice inhale into it. Good. And then we're going to lengthen forward. Far forward as we can. And come round to the other side. Opening up that chest, lengthening for the little toe. Rolling the knees out to the side. Come forwards and stretch again. Round to the other side. Rolling the knees out. Using your flow of breath. As we go from one stretch to the other stretch. Keeping our focus up. Lovely. We'll do 2 more rounds. Trying to achieve a lovely stretch down the side of that body, maybe through that lower back. Keep reaching into each movement. So as you go forward, reach. And then good. Back to the middle. We're going to come up nice and tall. Sit up lovely and tall. Bringing those feet together in the middle. Good. Into a hip flexor stretch. So from here, we're pulling the feet together. We're trying to push the knees down as much as we can do. Keep the posture tall. Take some deep breaths as we feel the hips open through those hip flexors. Just breathe into them. And if you can, take your hands around the front of your feet and go for an exhale into those hip flexors. Nice, big deep breaths. And we're just going to start to have a little twist to one side and a little float to the other side over those hips. Using your flow of breath, we're floating to one side. Hi, Bob, and float into the other side. Bobby wants to join in with this one. All the kisses. Good boy. Let's do one more. Coming back to the middle. Sitting up nice and tall. Push that chest up. Lovely. Okay, from here, we're going to go into a straight leg position on your mat. So I'll just twist to the side so you can see me. So start nice and tall. We're going to go arms in front of you, shoulders back and down. We're going to start to work into that core. So we're going to start to curve down. So curve down. Just go as far as you can to know that you can come back up to a sitting position. Okay, so just go as far as you can. If you can go all the way down to the floor, go all the way down, full body stretch, and then come all the way back up and find your alignment. Once we've all found our alignment back up at the top again, we're going to imagine a big beach ball. We're going to go up and over and reach towards the toes, towards our hamstrings. Head down, nice stretch into it, and then back into alignment, and then curve down. So we're creating a C down, nice C curve with our spine down, controlling the movement, and then up nice and tall, and then a C forward, up and over those legs. Little reach. And if you're pregnant like me, you need to take your legs a little bit wider, then that's fine. Just go as far as you can back. Now, if you need a bit of extra support and you've got a band, then pop the band around the bottom of the feet, and this will just help support the core a little bit more and add you a bit of resistance to help pull you forwards if you need it as well. Help you get a deeper stretch into those hamstrings. So have a little play with our roll back exercise. We'll go for another 6 to 8 rounds in your own time, using your flow of breath. If the stretch feels nice, hold it for a little bit longer. Take some deep breaths into it. Lovely. Keeping that control. How slow can you roll down? Can you get a little bit further if you're not going all the way down yet? Good. And once you've done your repetitions, we're just going to go for a full body stretch on the floor. Stretching arms out, stretching legs out. Take some big deep breaths. Imagine someone pulling your toes one way and your arms the other way. Lovely. And we're going to circle the arms around by our side and bend the knees. So in our bent knee position, we're just going to adjust the pelvis. So just round those hips, tuck them under, and then tilt them forwards. Tilt them under, tilt them forwards. And you're going to get that movement smaller and smaller until it's so small that it's still. And we found a lovely neutral pelvis position. And in that position, you should just feel your back melt into the floor like chocolate. So you've got a connection with the back and the floor. You shouldn't be able to fit your hands underneath. Making sure your pelvic floor is zipped up on your TBA. We're just going to lift one leg into our tabletop position. So our knees in line with our hip and our shins nice and flat. If you can manage to and you feel strong enough, lift your other leg up to meet it. If not, just put one foot on the floor. From here, we're going to lift our arms up off the floor. As a progression, you crunch up into it as well. If you're probably like me, we're going to keep on the floor. From here, again, if you've got both legs up, or one leg up, we're just going to start to pulse the arms. Inhaling, exhaling. 5 counts on the inhale, 5 counts on the exhale. I'm going to try and do 10 rounds of breath. If you're holding one leg, you do 5 each leg in your own time. When you're ready, so the full progression looks like this. 10 rounds of breath. When you're ready, off you go. Core nice and strong. Inhaling 5 counts, exhaling 5 counts. Keeping the legs strong. And when you've done your repetitions, go for a full body stretch again. Arms over the head, nice big reach and stretch. Take some deep breaths, circle the arms round down by your side. I'm going to go for one more round. Now if you were doing the full one and you want to progress even more, you can straighten your legs, lower them, turn your legs out to the side, make sure there's a gap between them, and do this one for 10 rounds of breath. Okay? When you're ready, off you go, 10 rounds of breath. It's a good one for getting the blood flowing around the body. Gauging that core, focusing on that flow of breath. Body shush. And once you've done your breath, your 10 rounds, you can go for your full body stretch. Taking some big deep breaths in this stretch. And when you're ready, circle your arms all the way down by your side. And we're going to roll onto our sides. Good. This time we're just going to bend our bottom knee. So our bottom knee is bent, and make sure our elbow is right underneath our shoulder. So we're resting on that elbow. If that's too sore or too much on the shoulder, you can lengthen your arm out across the floor. Okay, so from this position, we're just going to lift and lower the top leg. Try and make sure the hips, you're rolling your hips forward, so your hips are on top of each other. Try and point the foot up, flex the heel down. Oh, thanks for my kids as well. Pointing up, flexing down. Either hand on the hip or hand in front of you, whichever is most comfortable. Breathing into it. Working down into that leg, into that glute, and down through the side of our core. Good boy. There'll be no more kisses. Who wants to join in? Good. Holding that leg up to the top, we're going to draw 3 circles each way. So imagine that you've got a little pencil on the bottom of your foot, and you're drawing 3 circles one way, 3 circles the other way. Good. Wants to play now. Excellent. Keeping that leg nice and straight. You might find that it starts to ache, which is good. And I'm going to hold that leg nice and still. We go for 10 pulses up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Good. Pointing and flexing the toes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Good. Give it a little rub. Let it relax off. Come on. Good. Then you're going to come onto hands and knees onto our mat. So making sure your knees are right underneath your hips and your hands are right underneath your shoulders. We're just going to go into some spinal curves. If you're pregnant like me, we're just going to push our chest forwards, then pushing our tummy out. And I'm going to tuck under. So head goes down as the middle of the spine goes up. Head comes up as the middle of the spine goes down. Trying to create a C each way, or pushing forward and pushing that chest out if you're pregnant, so we're not stretching our tummy too much. If you're not, then try and get a nice range of movement, a little bit deeper into the range. Each repetitions, inhaling and exhaling into it. Bob's just watching my bottom. I know he's looking outside, he's not watching my bottom. That's good. Good. And then finding a neutral position, we're just going to isolate the pelvis around that lower back, that lumbar spine. Just tilting down, tucking under. Little tilt. Get the movement smaller and smaller until it's so small that it's still, and you've found your neutral pelvis position. So it's not tucked under too much, it's not tilting out too much, it's nice and neutral and straight. And just go for a little hip wiggle, release any tension through that lower back. Good, let it all release out. Deep breaths into it. Excellent, and then finding a neutral position again. We're going to engage the core and we're going to lift one arm and lengthen and stretch, bring it back in. Then the other arm, lengthen and stretch, bring it back in. One leg, lengthen and stretch, back in, and then the other leg. Imagine someone's pulling the limbs forwards or backwards. They're being drawn and pulled out of the body, lengthening and stretching, and then going out rather than up. Out rather than up. So rather than reaching up, we're reaching out, lengthening. Trying to reach for something. Reach. Reach. Creating your own resistance. If it seems too easy, you're not squeezing and creating resistance. Good. And then if you can and you're ready, connect that core muscle, opposite arm, opposite leg, lengthen and reach. Imagining that you've got my cup of tea on your lower back and you've got to keep it balanced. So you've got to use control through the body, use your core, knee and hand placing on the floor exactly the same time. Keep lengthening through that body, using your flow of breath. We'll go for another 4 to 6 more repetitions in your own time. Okay. Then have a little stretch off. We'll go bum back onto heels, reach the arms forwards, head down. Deep breaths into the lower back. Reaching those hands forwards. Good. If you can, don't do this if you're pregnant like me. I'm just going to quickly demo. You're going to come down to your tummy, elbows at right angles. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders and heads down facing the mat. So you're down like this. From here, we're going to lift, squeeze the back, and then back down. Lift and squeeze the back, and then back down. So your head staying in line with your spine. We're lifting, squeezing shoulders back, and then coming back down into our swan dive exercise, working our back. As a progression, you can lift, stretch your arms forward, back in, and down. Lift, stretch up, back in, and down. If you're pregnant like me and you've got a band, then we're going to do banded pull downs. If not, just mimic this movement. Bring your arms together, squeeze your shoulder blades at the back, stretch up and down, okay? Just go for this movement. If you're pregnant, you'll still get a nice width through the top of the back. If not, and you've got a band, we're going to go for some pull downs. We're going to squeeze and pull the band apart. So start nice and tall, pull the band apart, squeeze the back, and then stretch up. creating a W with the elbows at the bottom, squeezing into that back. Okay, so everybody's going to go for 8 to 10 repetitions. And then once you've done your 8 to 10 repetitions, we'll go into a child's pose stretch. Bum back onto heels, arms forwards, and stretch it out. If you want to do this band exercise instead of swan dives, you can do. Just make sure you're focusing on those back muscles. Everybody using that core at the same time. Inhaling into it and exhaling into the movements. Find a lovely flow. And once you've done your 8 to 10 repetitions, we're going into child's pose and stretching it out. And when you're ready, we're going to go for one more round. Whichever back exercise you choose to do. Let's do it. 8 to 10 repetitions, big squeeze. Remember, create some resistance. You've got to think about those muscles working into that back. Using the core to help control those movements. Keeping the head in line with the spine. Keeping the lower body relaxed the whole time. We're just trying to work through that upper body. Keeping the lower body relaxed, especially if you're on your front doing your swan dives. That lower body needs to stay relaxed. Good. And once you've done your repetitions, you're back into your child's pose, stretching it out. Excellent. Okay. So once you've done your stretch and you've finished, we're going to roll on to our other side. So you should be facing the other direction, but I'm just going to flip over so I'm still facing the camera. So from here, bottom knee slightly bent, we're resting on the elbow, and the other leg straight. Hips are rolled so they're on top of each other, so they're nice and stacked, and we're lifting and lowering that top leg. If you can, we're pointing on the way up, flexing on the way down. Pointing on the way up, flexing on the way down. Inhaling and exhaling into it. Good. And if you've got a nice little doggy that wants to play, it makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Good. Then holding that leg up to the top, we're going to imagine a pencil on the bottom and draw 3 circles each way. Imagine we're drawing around a dinner plate on the wall. Good. Keeping that leg nice and high, working into the glute. Keeping the chest up. And then holding that leg to the top, let's do a point and flexing 10 times. If it's burning, it's good. That's what you want. And hold. Good, lift a little higher. And release. Good, give it a little rub. Well done. Excellent. Whew. Good. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a half plank position. So make sure your elbow's right underneath your shoulder. Your hands are nice and flat. We're just going to lift our hips up onto our knees and then lower them down. Lift onto our knees, squeeze the side of our core and then lower down. Use your flow of breath. Everything nice and slow and controlled. Good. Last 2. Last 1. And if you want to progress this movement, you can go for a full plank position. So legs and out nice and straight, we're lifting and then coming back down. Okay, I'm going to stay on my knees. Have a little breather, stretch that arm out, give your hands a little wiggle, let the shoulder switch off, and then we're going to do another round. When you're ready, lifting and lowering, we'll go for 6 reps. Off we go. Lovely. Last one. And have a little breather. Give those hands a little wiggle. Well done. From here, we're going to go into a lovely quad stretch. So we're going to take the top foot and pull it back. Hand onto the head so we create a mermaid position. And if you can, we're going to pop the bottom heel onto the knee. Push it back and down. And stretch through the front of that leg. Deep breaths into it. Breathe into the stretch. Maybe increasing at every exhale a little bit deeper. Good. And then slowly letting it release. We're going to go back onto our hands and knees. Into some shoulder stretches. So we're going to start by doing some scapular work. So we're going to drop the shoulder blades together and nip them like pencils. So the shoulder blades are nipped, so you nip a pencil in between the shoulder blades, keeping the elbows straight. And then you're going to push the shoulder blades up as high as you can, tucking your chin to your chest. So tuck your chin in as tight as you can, and then drop the shoulder blades back together again. It's a really good one for mobilizing the top of the back and those shoulders. Strengthening at the scapula at the same time. Tucking chin to chest. Good, last one. Excellent, and then coming back to the center, we're going to thread the needle. So one arm's going to go through and face the palm up, stretch around the back of that shoulder. Back in, and then to the other side, stretch it out. Bobby shush. Good, swapping, we're going to do another few each side. Good, and to the other side. Bobby shush. Barking at the pigeon. Okay, rolling onto the other side, so you should be facing the other way. I'm just going to spin around, so I'm doing my other side. We're going to go into our half plank to side plank position, or your full one if you want to progress it with your legs out nice and straight. So pushing up onto the knees or the feet, whichever version you're doing. Hand out flat, elbow out underneath that shoulder, and then we're going to lift those hips. So we're going for 6. Trying to lift the hips straight, and then back down. Keep that chest up. 2. Controlling down. Use your flow of breath. Inhaling down, exhaling lift. Thinking about that 30% through the core as well the whole time. And then hold and relax. Good. Let that shoulder switch off. Give your fingers a little wiggle for a minute. Take some deep breaths. And when you're ready, we'll go again. Everything slow and controlled. Good. Excellent, and let it switch off. Well done. Good. And then from here, we're going to go back onto our hands and knees, back into our thread the needle stretch. This time, if you want to increase it, you can try and lift one